Hey guys, thought I'd let you know that I found some pretty decent ranting videos about the iPhone 4 on the web, and I also wanted a little bit go over the thing that Samsung popped out. Obviously they have, starting to try to ban Apple with their two patent infringements, both in France and Italy, and they're probably going to try to do that in other countries as well. And I just found two awesome ranting videos. One is from John for Lakers, where he's basically talking about the iPhone 4S and that what people was expecting, that all of these hypes and things, they have really made it so everyone was really thinking that we would see something awesome that would just blow other phones away. Now what Apple did was that they were just kind of, it feels like they were just catching up with Android. 8 megapixel camera, we have had like 12 megapixel cameras for a long time now on some like devices, from some Nokia devices, but yeah, dual core. I mean, this dual core thingy, we've been hearing that since like January this year. So yeah, same there. I think, things are speeding up now. When Android just came like 2009, and it's just been blowing up to this huge thing where they're just popping out phones 24/7, and they're just getting better and better, thinner and thinner, and many of us did just believe that we would see a new thing that would blow stuff away, but I mean, the competition, Apple is getting more competition from both Android, Google's operating system, and also Windows Phone 7 that Microsoft is working really hard. So I really do believe that the next couple of months, like the next year, so many things are going to happen. So many new like Windows Phone 7 devices that's going to be powerful. It's going to come out. We're going to have the next Nexus, and this is very important. On the 11th of October, the next Nexus device is going to be unveiled, and it's going to be very, 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 and hopefully according to rumors, but it's going to be very interesting to go over that and compare those specs to the iPhone 4S. iPhone 4S. I always forget about that. And also, there may not be an iPhone 5 because do you remember the third generation? Let's see here. The first generation iPhone, it was called like the iPhone. Maybe it's the iPhone 2G. No, I think it was just called the iPhone. The second generation was the iPhone 3G, and then we had the third generation that was called the iPhone 3GS, and then the fourth iPhone, it was basically called the iPhone 4, and then we have the iPhone for the fifth generation of iPhone called the iPhone 4S. So does that basically mean that we are not getting an iPhone 5? Is an iPhone 6? I'm not sure, but that would be kind of confusing. Maybe iPhone 4G? No, iPhone 4G, because next year they're probably gonna pop up this 4G thingy. The thing is, why didn't launch that 4G thingy is that it's really not that big yet. Where I live, like in a big city near close to me, they just got 4G. So I mean, the 4G thingy is something Apple has been pretty good at timing the last couple of years, and they usually know when people want something. So yeah, but the competition is getting bigger, so I'm not really sure if Apple would or will be able to just release one new mobile every year. It feels like they're taking a risk here by just thinking about the consumer that doesn't really care that much. I think many of the geeks right now is gonna pick an Android or a Windows Phone 7 and not go with an iPhone, because with not a new redesign, why would I get a big fat phone when I could get a thinner phone, a bigger screen, less weight, for a less price? I mean, in a way it doesn't really feel like, and more open as well. So why would I get it? Just to have an Apple on the back on the phone? Yeah, because I don't know. But I'm gonna leave you a link to the Hitler Rant in the description, and also a link to John for Lakers iPhone 4S Rants and Opinions, and also a video. You should check that out if you're interested in this as well. And I should also tell you that obviously the iPhone 4S got some internals that's good compared to the old iPhone, but obviously they need to be better than the old iPhone, because the old iPhone is like 15-16 months old. So if it wouldn't, obviously it's better than the previous generation. I mean, isn't that obvious? Like, obvious troll is obvious. Obviously, it's going to be better. So, yeah, okay, 8 megapixel camera. Yeah, that's what all you know, other like high-end smartphones already have right now out on the market. It's nothing new, nothing like totally awesome. And then we have a dual-core processor. Yes, we have had that since like January as well. So, yeah, I did expect more from Apple actually. And with this new CEO, they really need to get back on track and bring back Steve Jobs. You know, this is bad, but maybe you should not blame the CEO that much. But Samsung also released this new chart here, where they were comparing their little device against the iPhone 4S, and I mean, it's fun because the Galaxy S2 is an old device, like 6-7 months old, and the iPhone 4S is a new device. But it still gets like smacked down by Samsung's thing here. Network 4G speeds here. Processor, no, this thing, I think that the iPhone 4S have a little better processor for the software that's running, but nothing I don't think you're gonna see. And yeah, so we have 1.2 GHz and dual core 1.5 on the Galaxy S2, and then we have a 1 GHz, I think it at least clocked a 1 GHz dual core processor, A5 processor on iPhone 4S. Also, the Galaxy S2 have the like the Mali GPU, and I think that the iPhone 4S GPU is much more powerful because it's like the same GPU as the iPad 2 have. Let's see here, display. Here's some interesting things. Retina display. Yes, it's a good display, okay? Both are good displays. Yeah, both are very good displays. I'm not gonna say that anyone is better, but we do know, okay, I'm gonna go, yeah, they didn't highlight it here, but iPhone 4S have a higher PPI. It has 330 pixels per inch, so it's more pixels per inch, but would you prefer that or with a smaller screen? Would you prefer 3.5 inch with higher PPI, or a 4.5 inch or a 4.3 inch screen where you can do more, you can see more with like 100 less PPI, 217 PPI? I mean, 30 of those PPI that you haven't get on iPhone 4S, you can't really actually see them. So yeah, that sucks. What else here? Obviously, okay, iPhone 4S also have a high resolution, 96x640, and Samsung Galaxy doesn't have a bad resolution, 800x480, because it's a bigger screen. So yeah, but the iPhone 4S have a bigger screen, or not bigger screen, but high resolution, and got a smaller screen. So if Samsung would have made a 3.5 inch, then they would also like have a bigger screen resolution and have like more PPI. So something you should remember. Also the cameras here, the rear is also kind of the same. It's going to be really interesting to see the difference between video on the iPhone 4S and the versions of the Samsung Galaxy 2, but I think the iPhone 4S have better video because the current iPhone 4 that's also on the market right now, it have pretty good video, and I think the audio quality is better on the iPhone 4 than on the Galaxy S2, so the iPhone 4S must have like better audio quality, I think. But they aren't better on the front facing camera. They still have that crappy VGA camera, or maybe not that crappy, but VGA doesn't sound good compared to the 2 megapixel camera that you can get on the Galaxy S2. So something you should consider if you're using your phone for a lot of calling and stuff, video. But I'm not saying that the VGA camera is bad. I mean, on the iPhone 4 it works decent, so this one should also be pretty decent because it's the same. Video capture, now I'm not sure what it's saying here, but 1080p high profile. I'm not sure what a high profile thing means, but I think yeah, it's kind of the same. So yeah, and yeah, here as I said, weightless. It is thinner, 9.3 millimeter versus 8.9. Let's see here, 1650 milliamps, and you get like better like talk time on the Galaxy S2, at least on like the 2G, and you get like 600 in standby times versus the iPhone 4S that only have like 200 hours, down 100 hours from the iPhone 4. Removable battery may not be that important to most of people if you don't break the battery, but I mean, at least it's good. I mean, if you're buying a phone, you're going to use it for tons of years, then you can, you know, replace the battery. It's always something good. Well, some people may not like it, but I think it's definitely a good thing to have. Voice activation, Blingo versus Siri. Let's see here. Yeah, this voice thingy, if you like to talk with your voice, the Galaxy S2 should also be pretty decent. I've ordered my own voice sounding Galaxy S2, as I said, and I should probably have it in a few days, and then I'm gonna make an unboxing and all of those good things. And it would be kind of sweet if I would get my hands on the next or the iPhone 4S and make like a comparison videos. Let's see here. This is also kind of cool. Use the smartphone as HDTV remote control. I have Samsung HDTV at home, so it's going to be interesting to try out, see if it works to use it as a control for my TV. That's going to be fun to try out. But obviously I can't show you something on the TV because that would be like copyright stuff. Let's see here, but I mean obviously not that important thing there. Carriers, yeah, I live in Sweden, so I'm not really gonna care about that. That's only if you live in the US, but then you get like more. And OS, I mean this is so individual. You can't really say that Gingerbread is better than iOS 5 because it's like kind of individually what you prefer. Yeah, and also you can have like more memory, I assume, in the Galaxy S2 because you can have micro SD card as well. That's one very good thing there as well, that you can use that. What else? Yeah, but obviously that's going to cost you a little more, but still iPhone 4 is going to be much more expensive than iPhone 5 if you take it off contract, I think. And then we have the pricing, yeah, should be less. Let's see, but you should also remember that if you want to extend the battery or the micro SD card, or if you have want more memory, then you need to buy a memory card, and they could be kind of expensive. So yeah, my quick little thingy here. As I said, if you don't remember, the Hitler Rant is in the description, and it's pretty goddamn awesome because yeah, it's awesome because he's ranting about stuff that people care about. So yeah, see.